When I returned from Boston, I found out that there was going to be an event in Chandler, Arizona, and I contacted the group about speaking there. Eric Williams contacted me that he was not a Democrat and wanted to have my 1976 U.S. military study information presented at the 9/11 accountability event. He worked to get me a speaking spot on Friday night and a place on a discussion panel on Saturday. Then it was revealed that Williams was a Holocaust denier and he left the event. I called the event's phone number and spoke to a woman who did not know about the speakers list but would forward my message to those who did. These Democrats canceled my speaking spot and discussion panel spot. Typical of the Democrat 9/11 truthers, whose mission is to censor all information showing the Democratic political party's legal responsibility for the 9/11 attacks happening. In March 2007, I saw on C-SPAN where Senator Specter was conducting an investigation into FBI wrongdoing. I contacted his office about the July 6, 2005 FBI raid on my home. He did not reply, so I called his Washington, D.C. office and was put on hold for about 30 minutes. Then, finally, I was connected to a Charles Fitzgerald. He told me that it did not make any difference if my communication was coming from the Defense Department and Senator Specter was investigating FBI wrongdoing. They were not going to give Senator Specter's message to my message to Senator Specter and then hung up on me. I then sent him this email, but he refused to reply. U.S. Senate, why is having a standing order for your staff members to not deliver to you U.S. Defense Department communications during a time of war an improvement in our national security? Would you please finally answer, Senator Specter? When Senator Leahy replaced Senator Specter as the head of the Senate Judiciary Committee, I contacted him about the FBI's illegal activities and he refused to reply. Why don't the Democrats investigate Bush administration illegal activities? Is it because it will reveal Democratic political party involvement? In November 2007, William Rodriguez came to Seattle, Washington with his Last Man Out tour. I got to speak to him briefly about the Ellen Mariani lawsuit. He said that he knew Ellen. Only around 100 people showed up to see him. This is a stark contrast to the claims of the Seattle 9/11 Truth Group, who claim that 85% of the population supports the 9/11 Truth Movement, which in western Washington state, where the population is 2 million, that there are 1,700,000 9/11 Truth Movement supporters. So where were the other 1,699,900 9/11 Truth Movement supporters that did not come to see the most important man at ground zero? The Seattle 9/11 Truth Movement group refuses to answer. Typical of the 9/11 truthers. In January 2008, 2 Secret Service agents came to my home to harass and question me about any attacks on President Bush I knew about. I refused to answer their questions, stating that due to my heart disease, I did not feel like talking right then, but if they gave me their business card, I would call them later when I felt better. After a few more minutes of harassing statements by Agent Nipthing, she finally gave me her business card. I then closed the door in their faces to get them to shut up and go away. For a couple of weeks I tried to find a lawyer to represent me against the Secret Service, but none would. So I then cleaned out my old notes and sent them to Agent Nipfing in 2 packages. Total weight around 10 pounds of paper, to keep her busy for a few days checking them out while I continued to look for a lawyer. Agent Nipfing has never contacted me back. A couple of months later, I got a note from the Seattle FBI office to call them. I knew it was about the information I had sent Secret Service agent Nipfing, and sent the FBI agent a letter that I had filed a complaint against both the FBI and Secret Service for the illegal activities of harassment that they were subjecting me to. The FBI never contacted me back. Typical FBI activity. This is the letter of complaint I sent to both U.S. Attorney General Mukasey and Representative Ron Paul. I sent it to Ron Paul because he is always running off at the mouth about wanting everyone to follow the law like him. Well, neither Ron Paul or Attorney General Mukasey replied to my letter of complaint, even after repeated contacts. This proved that Ron Paul is just another business-as-usual politician who lies about what he will do to correct the wrongdoing in the U.S. government. After seeing Washington State Supreme Court Justice Sanders make statements on television about how he thought the Bush administration needed to be investigated for illegal activities, I contacted him with my Bush administration situation. Well, at least he read it, was his statement to me about my Department of Defense legal issue, but that he would not do anything to help me. He stated that he could get in trouble by a Washington state agency if he helped a United States Defense Department person with a U.S. military mission during a time of war. This excuse of his stinks, since Washington state agencies do not have any legal authority over the U.S. Defense Department and its business, and to say so is BS, especially from a Washington State Supreme Court justice who knows the chain of legal authority runs from the U.S. government down to the state governments. He is just another loudmouth politician who turned tail and ran when he was asked to put into action his express opinion that the Bush administration had committed illegal acts. When Senator Feinstein was named the Senate Intelligence Committee chairwoman, I contacted her with my Defense Department legal issue, since she is the highest-ranking person in the U.S. Congress to deal with intelligence issues. Instead of taking care of it herself, she referred it to Senator Cantwell to take care of. To date, my case is still sitting at Senator Cantwell's office unresolved. I guess she's still angry with me because I said no when Senator Cantwell asked me for campaign contributions.